Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got 4 NFL stars who vanished after one season. Let's check this out.
Some would say the NFL truly stands for not
Andrew Luck.
for long. If you've watched the NFL for a couple of years now,
Bro, one that comes to mind for me, bro,
the cases of Tom Brady,
shit,
Drew Brees, or
probably like
any of these guys who are
RG3
playing for 15 plus years are extremely uncommon, and some players randomly have a huge season only to be an afterthought for the rest of their careers. So I wanted to make this video in remembrance of the players who came and went. Here are 4 of my favorite one-season wonders in recent memory. To start off at number 4, I have David Johnson's 2016
Oh, I forgot.
I
forgot about this nigga, yeah.
David Johnson
2016.
was doing Christian McCaffrey stuff before he was even drafted. The only problem was that he fell off quickly after his breakout year in 2016.
I think
During
injuries
his
really
rookie
got to
season
him.
In 2015, David Johnson began the year as the Cardinals' 4th string running back behind Andre Ellington, Chris Johnson, and Stephon Taylor.
CJ2K.
He showed promise in his rookie season and earned himself the starting job heading into week 1 of 2016. And his strong finish in his rookie year carried over into 2016 as he had 15 consecutive games with over 100 yards from scrimmage, tying Barry Sanders' record that he set in 1997. And honestly, he probably would have broken that record, but in the final game of the season, he was injured in the first quarter against the Rams and didn't return to the game. David Johnson finished the season with over 1,200 yards rushing. He also caught 80 passes for 879 yards, which totals to over 2,100 yards from scrimmage and 20 total touchdowns. Johnson's incredible season earned him Pro Bowl and All-Pro honors for the first and only time in his career, and he was ranked 12th on the NFL's top 100 list after the season. There was a lot of excitement for David Johnson heading into 2017, and I bet a lot of you goofballs that are watching this probably took him number 1 overall in your fantasy drafts that year. However, David Johnson's year ended immediately, as in the 3rd quarter of week 1 against the Lions, he suffered a dislocated wrist and needed surgery, which ended his season. He kind of bounced back in 2018, but he only averaged 3.6 yards per carry, and in 2019, he lost the starting job to Kenyon Drake, who they acquired at the trade deadline. Then in 2020, he was traded to the Houston Texans.
He looked like he was starting to be good for the Texans, but then injuries again.
He wasn't able to recreate the magic he had in 2016 in Houston, and after a short time as a backup in New Orleans, David Johnson didn't have a job after 2022. But his 2016 season was one of the most dynamic years by a running back in NFL history. At number 3, I have Jay Ajayi's 2016.
Yeah, where the hell is this? Where the hell happened to him? Like, bro, I forgot about dude for real.
In his final season at Boise State, he ran for over 1,800 yards and scored 32 total touchdowns, which led to the Miami Dolphins drafting Ajayi in the 5th round of the 2015 NFL Draft. They added him
was like a
to
top 5 running back, bro.
And Damian Williams. In 2015, Ajayi didn't have a single start and only appeared in 9 games, where he ran for 187 yards and 1 touchdown on the year. In 2016, Ajayi started the season still in a limited role and only carried the ball 18 times for 75 yards and 1 touchdown during the first 4 weeks of the season. But after veteran running back Arian Foster struggled in the beginning of the year, the Dolphins turned to Ajayi to be their starting running back in week 5. And in weeks 6 and 7, Jay Ajayi would do something that no NFL running back had done since the early 2000s.
What?
In the Dolphins' week 6 matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ajayi ran the ball 25 times for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns, and averaged over 8 yards per carry. Then in the following week against the Buffalo Bills, he went off again for 214 yards and a touchdown. He became only the 4th player in NFL history to run for 200 yards in back-to-back games, and the first to do so since Ricky Williams did it for the Miami Dolphins in 2002. He then ran for over 200 yards again later in the season in another matchup.
Bro, 32 carries is insane work.
The 4th player in NFL history to have 3 games of over 200 rushing yards in a single season. Ajayi helped propel the Dolphins to the playoffs despite a 1-4 start to the season, and he finished the year with over 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns touchdowns while nearly averaging 5 yards per carry. However, in the following season, Ajayi didn't score a touchdown in 7 games for the Dolphins to start the year. And before the trade deadline in 2017, he was traded to the Eagles for a 4th-round pick. While Ajayi did play a role for the Eagles during their championship run, he simply was not the player that he was the year prior. He only scored 2 total touchdowns in 2017 and only appeared in 7 more games in his NFL career before eventually retiring and becoming a professional esports player. During his 2016 season, Ajayi was ranked by his peers as the 69th best player on the NFL's top 100 list and made the only Pro Bowl appearance of his career. While his prime was very short-lived, all Dolphins fans will remember his 2016 season as one of the most dominant years ever by a Dolphins running back. Coming in second, I have Josh Gordon's 2013
Flash
season
Gordon.
with the Cleveland Browns. In 2012, the Browns drafted Josh Gordon out of Baylor in the 2nd round. He showed some pretty good potential in his rookie season as he caught 50 passes for just over 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Going into 2013, it was announced that Josh Gordon was suspended for the first 2 games
For
of the
marijuana,
season
right?
for violating the league's substance
Yeah, I
abuse
think it was for
policy.
marijuana.
But in the following 14 games,
For that
Josh
weed,
Gordon had one of the
nigga.
most dominant seasons ever by a wide receiver. His 1,646 receiving yards led the NFL and was good for an average of just over 117 yards per game. He beat out guys like prime Antonio Brown and Calvin Johnson.
Wow.
He did all of this while missing the first 2 games of the season. and
Imagine if he
playing for a
didn't
terrible
miss the first 2
Browns team
games.
that was led by quarterbacks like Brian Hoyer, Brandon Weeden, and Jason Campbell. His great season became a legendary one in week 12.
I only know Brian
when he
Hoyer
caught
out of those
14
3.
passes for 237 yards and a touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then it became historic in week 13 when he caught 10 passes for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns against Jacksonville, making him the first and only receiver in the history of the NFL to have back-to-back games of over 200 receiving yards. Josh Gordon showed potential to be one of the best receivers in the game, standing at 6'3" and weighing 225 pounds and having the speed to burn any defensive back.
That's why
in
they
the
called him
NFL.
Flash Gordon.
Possessed every physical trait that you could possibly ask for in a wide receiver. However, he never would be able to replicate the success that he had in 2013. In fact, Josh Gordon wouldn't catch another touchdown pass until the year 2017. Gordon struggled
God damn.
immensely with substance abuse. The following year in 2014, Josh Gordon was suspended for the first 10 games after violating the league's substance abuse policy for the 2nd consecutive season. He only played
Wow.
in 5 games and caught for 303 yards and no touchdowns. He then was suspended for 2 years in 2015
What the
and
fuck?
2016 for multiple violations of the substance abuse policy. He
Bro.
then entered an inpatient rehabilitation facility and didn't get reinstated to the NFL until week 13.
That
of
nigga
the
need to go to
2017 NFL
fucking
season.
AA meeting
And
or
then
something,
at the beginning
gang.
of 2018, Gordon was released from the Browns as they feared he was still struggling to stay sober. He was then picked up by the Patriots, and he was suspended 2 more times in his NFL career and would bounce around the league playing
Bro.
for the Seahawks, Titans,
Imagine if
and
if all that
Chiefs.
shit
And most
didn't happen,
recently,
bro.
He was playing in the XFL in 2023, where he
Wait,
caught
for real?
38
Oh, yeah,
passes
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
500
He was good for the,
yards,
Seattle
4
Dragons.
touchdowns for the Seattle Sea Dragons. Josh Gordon's off-the-field troubles have left us all wondering what could he have been. And to finish off the list, at number 1, I have Robert Griffin III's
Yep,
rookie year in
RG3.
2012. After
I mean,
Andrew
injuries
Luck was
definitely,
drafted by the
know what I'm saying,
Colts
fucked
with
up
the
his
number
career
1 overall
towards
pick, the
ACL and
Washington
shit.
Redskins decided to draft the
Shit's
Heisman
horrible,
Trophy
man.
winner from Baylor, also known as RG3, with the 2nd overall pick in the draft.
He could have
During
been
his
the
time at
next Mike
RG3
Vick.
was the most electrifying playmaker in all of college football. His ability to make plays with his legs made him unique and incredibly hard to game plan for. And in his rookie season, RG3's versatility translated immediately to the NFL. In his first career start, he completed 73% of his passes for 320 yards through the air
Wow.
and 42 yards on the ground, and he threw 2 touchdowns, posted a passer rating of 139.9, and helped Washington secure a victory on the road in the season opener. But even though RG3 was playing well, the Redskins began the season with a 3-6 record. However, things turned around for them in Week 11 against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Damn, he
RG3
launched that
only
shit.
threw one incompletion the entire game and had 284 total yards, 4 touchdowns, and posted a perfect passer rating. After this, Washington did not lose a single game
Santana
and would
Moss?
finish the season with a 10-6 record and win the NFC.
I know about that Santana Moss,
RG3
nigga.
finished the regular season with a 65% completion percentage, 3,200 yards through the air, 800 yards on the ground, and 27 total touchdowns. He beat out Andrew Luck and won Rookie of the Year, and was voted 13th by his peers on the NFL's top 100 list. But there was a dark side to RG3's incredible rookie season. During their Week 14 matchup versus the Ravens, RG3 took a big hit where his knee was bent awkwardly.
Yeah,
he suffered a
shit.
grade 1 LCL sprain and was visibly in pain for the rest of the season. But he wanted to play through the injury and help his team make the playoffs. Unfortunately, during their wild card matchup against the Seahawks, Robert Griffin's knee gave out and he ended up tearing his LCL and ACL. This is where everything went downhill for RG3. This is an injury that should have kept him on the sidelines until October of the next season, but he rushed himself back in order to play Week 1 of 2013.
See, that was his mistake right there.
In order to prevent injuries, RG3 also asked the coaching staff to stop calling as many plays where he would have to use his legs, and he said that he wanted to be a pocket passer. This change in play style did not favor RG3, and he went 3-10 as the starter in Washington in 2013, and he eventually lost his job to Kirk Cousins. And after another disappointing and injury-riddled season as the starting quarterback for the Browns, RG3 would be nothing but a backup in Baltimore for the rest of his career. RG3's downfall was one of the most abrupt declines that we have ever seen. He never was the same player after that injury he suffered in his rookie year. But we do need to appreciate his first season as one of the most electrifying rookie years in NFL history. Hey everyone, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it will go a long way in helping me create the best quality NFL content for all of you. And in the comments, let me hear some of your favorite one-year wonders. And once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hey man, what do you guys think? Damn, what the fuck was I about to say? Bro, I forgot what the hell I was about to say, gang. Bro, it's hot as shit. But hey, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, turn on post notifications, get notified whenever I drop another banger video. We want to go to 300 subs, so we can get there for more banger NFL content like this. Without further ado, I'm out. Gang!